Alright, what is up guys? This morning, we are going to get some miles in an old friend here, the Adidas Adios Pro 3. Now you can probably hear my voice still a little bit congested, but working through this cold, and I want to get a little bit of turnover in the legs. So we had 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, where we were able to ease back the mileage, recover a little bit. Now I'm feeling good. Legs are a little bit fresher, and I want to hit some pace. So this morning, I'm going to do my favorite workout. This is the best workout of all time. It's the BWOT. The BWOT. In one of the best racing shoes out there. This shoe is so good, Adidas hasn't updated it in 7 years. 7 years! Alright, Adidas Adios Pro 3. I am kidding about the 7 years, but this thing came out, 2 years ago, and Adidas has not updated it. Yes, because it's so good, but also because they now have the Evo, which sits on top of this. Should I go grab the Evo just to show you? Let me go grab the Evo just to show you. Hold on. All right, here we go. So for their elite athletes, Adidas has the Pro Evo. I was able to buy a pair of these from Running Warehouse when they did the drop. I think they actually might have some availability. However, I would highly not suggest buying this unless you have lots of disposable income or you can make revenue from buying it, like I was kind of able to do, even though I accidentally wasn't able to monetize the video because I used a Kendrick Lamar song that I thought I was able. It's a long story, but $500. This is not a shoe that is designed for hobby joggers to race in. It's what Adidas designed for their elites to race in. It's super light. It's not designed to be durable. It's aggressive. It's fun. It's fast. It's a great shoe. But for the rest of us out there, they have the Adios Pro 3, which is not $500. It's $250, and they just keep cranking out different colorways of this. I see one pop up, I think maybe 2 a week. I have no idea how many colorways of this they have, but it's a great shoe. It's durable. The foam takes some time to break in. And one of the things that I want to do is not just highlight, and you guys know this, not just highlight the new shoes that come out, but make sure that I'm running in all the good shoes that are on the market pretty consistently. So at least one every 1 to 2 to 3 months touching the shoes that I'm recommending so that I remember the good qualities, the bad qualities, who they might be best for. So today we're going to do a little bit of a reacquaintance with the Adios Pro 3. My last run in this was a 26-mile long run. It was about a 3-hour marathon I just did around my neighborhood for fun, just a nice Sunday marathon in the neighborhood. Today we're going to do my favorite workout. So my favorite workout, 6 by 800 meters. I'll get to it in a second, but a little bit more on the shoe here. You got the thick stack of Light Strike Pro. It's a nice dense race foam. You have a lightweight upper. That's actually one of the issues that people have had with this shoe. I've seen some surgery going on. People cut out this little spot up here where the stripe is. Other people take the scissors and the hacksaws to the back. I haven't really had any issues with the upper, and I didn't have any issues with the upper on this guy either, which is the Boston 12, which is one of my favorite marathon training shoes of all time. This guy really needs a refresh because every other brand has now dropped a great, mosquitoes, I forgot to light the citronella, but every other brand has now dropped a great marathon training shoe in the past year. You got the Hyperion Max 2, the Magic Speed 4, there's a bunch of shoes, and this has been out for a while now. It's a little bit long in the teeth. It's a little bit old. It's a little bit washed. Not that it's a bad shoe, it's just when you have the new shiny objects coming through, we need an upper update or something. This shoe could use an overall refresh just to get it back in the conversation. It's an awesome shoe, but there's been a lot of good shoes to come out. So Adios Pro 3, 100% of the Light Strike Pro. Boston 12 has a little bit of that dual foam character with the training foam. This is nice and bouncy. The foam does not bottom out, which is why I love it. And I'm hoping it gives us a little bit of comfort and some fun out here this morning. I really wanted to just pick a fun shoe because I've just been doing recovery runs for the past few days. Now I'm feeling a little bit better. I was actually supposed to do a long marathon pace workout this morning. I'm not going to do that because I'm still not 100%, but I do want to get just a little bit of speed to remember what it feels like and to reintroduce myself to some faster running. And then last thing I should say, Continental rubber. I think it actually might rain today. Oh, look at that. Look at that grass, man. Shout out to Dan from Longevity. Can we drop a Funk Master Flex bomb on the grass? Good job, Dan. Yeah, it might rain, so this Continental rubber will come in handy for sure. For sure. All right, let's lace these things up. All right, so lacing up the Adios Pro 3 here. As I mentioned, the upper is one of those areas that a lot of people had trouble with. I never really did. I've always found this upper to be okay. Same thing with the Boston 12. The Takumi Sen uppers, that's a whole other situation. They are very finicky. Now, compared to the Evo, though, this guy has one of the best, if not probably the best racing upper. It's just so lightweight. It's paper thin. And I don't necessarily think it's that much harder or more expensive to manufacture an upper this thin. So I'm excited to see that technology trickle out to other Adidas shoes and also for some other brands to start putting thinner uppers on their shoes. But regardless, the upper on here, the good qualities of it are it sheds water really well. So this is a shoe that designed for wet weather, any type of adverse conditions. Your foot is going to be super well ventilated. It's not going to hold on to a lot of water, and you're not going to pick up any bulk, which is great. Oh man, this colorway kind of looks like a watermelon, huh? And wow, these mosquitoes are really coming at me. So yeah, on step in, I think this foam is broken in a little bit. And that was one of the things when I first reviewed the shoe, it didn't blow me away on the first run. And people said, put more miles in it, put more miles in it. So I did that 26-mile long run. That put us up past 30 miles. And now today will put us up past 40 miles, maybe even close to 50 miles. So plan for this run. We are going to get 8 to 10 miles in, 6x800, so half mile just cruise sets here. There's no prescribed pace. This is just to get the legs turned over. If my regular pace today ends up being 9 minutes per mile and those 6x800s are at 7:30, that is completely okay. This is just to get my body reacquainted with a little bit of faster pace. Typically I would do these probably around 6 flat. If that's what comes, that's okay. That would be about a little bit faster than a marathon pace right now. If I'm doing these at 6:30 or 7 or 5 flat, that's okay as well. It's just, again, get the legs turned over. We have a very hilly course out here in the neighborhood, so not worried about pace at all. Just a nice, smooth, consistent effort that feels good. That feels good. That's the goal of this workout. We want to feel good. We want to feel like we're getting back. This is a great workout to do if you're... And sorry that I'm all moving around. The mosquitoes are really getting me. It is... It's just absolute craziness out here. Ooh, a little walk test in the Adios. Man, this is a great shoe. I love the way this Light Strike Pro feels. I'm just dancing around. What was I saying? Yeah, this is a great workout to do if you've been out of it for a little bit, if you're coming back from a sickness or an injury or anything. Just 6x800, man. It's only 3 miles of work and effort. You could even modify it to be 6x400 if you're running a little bit lower volume, but for me, this workout is perfect. It's perfect. Sometimes I'll run it at 520 pace. Sometimes I'll run it at 620 pace. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We just get out here, crank the legs, and get back into it, right? So let's get back. Let's get back into it. Oh, I need my running hat. So I know a lot of people have issues with the upper of the shoe, but it just doesn't bother me. I feel like 95% of the upper issues that people have can be fixed with a good pair of socks. Yeah, there's nothing about the shoe that would make me want to take a pair of scissors to it. It's absurdity. All right, it's a early reacquaintance reaction here. Definitely softer than it was out of the box. Definitely bouncier. And I think the rocker even feels better once it's broken in. This is 100% a shoe that takes some break-in. This feels like a workhorse race shoe. That's the vibe. This feels like a shoe that I could trudge through a ton of miles. But yeah, on this first straightaway here, legs are feeling okay. Still feeling a little bit tired, of course, but I'm excited that we get to pop a little bit of pace again. So I'm gonna warm up into this. I'll see you in a little bit. All right, mile one, 7:20. Legs are feeling pretty good. Shoe is decently bouncy. It's not the most exciting. I still hold to that assessment. It's a little bit standard feeling. But that's kind of the beauty of the shoe. It comes alive with some pace and some force, but it does still feel okay at my everyday pace. All right, almost at mile 2 here. So end of our warm up. And shoes are feeling solid. Firmer than the Saucony Endorphin Pro 4. Not as explosive as the Cloud Boom Strike, but a nice bounce. And they feel very reliable. Very reliable. Slightly narrow heel though. So we're gonna hit this first 800 in a second here, whenever this watch beeps. And we're just gonna take it at whatever pace comes. All right, there we go. Goal of these is not to feel stressed, but to feel smooth and a little bit faster than our everyday pace. All right, that was the first one. Nice and smooth, 6:30 something pace. Feels good to get the legs moving. The legs are definitely fresher than my nasal system. Nasal system's still a little bit backed up. But the heart rate is staying pretty low, the effort is staying pretty low. And it feels good to get out here and move. And this is the general guidance. If it's neck and above, no fever, we're good to go. If you got a fever or big coughing, stuff in the lungs, probably gonna wanna not run and definitely not do a workout. But yeah, we're on the rest part now. I'm just gonna take this up to the top of the hill. Nice long rests. I don't really wanna blast my legs charging up hills today because I'm taking advantage of this sickness to do a down week. So really just let the legs recover. So at the top of the next hill, we'll bang the next 800. All right, number 2, let's go. All right, number 2 felt pretty smooth, felt the same as number 1, around the same pace as number 1. Difference there was I finished it with a little bit more get up and go. And these shoes, man, they really ooh, Mint Hill code enforcement. I'm gonna be fresh as hell if the Fed's watching, baby. They're trapping out the raw honey in there. Not government inspected. And the code enforcers had to come through. I don't know, illegal bees in the trap out there. Yeah, I finished with a little bit of pace. And this Light Strike Pro just, man, when you put force down into it, it's beautiful. I do not feel the same about Zoom X and some of the softer foams, but this thing, it just lights up. It's electric. This might be one of the best tall stack shoes for running fast. I think I could run a 5K or a 10K in it, because the foam just is so bouncy when I'm putting down that 5 something per mile pace. All right, a little recovery, and then we're gonna hit number 3 right around this bend. All right, number 3, starting this one a little later, so we're probably gonna have to go up the hill. That's all good. Putting in work, let's go. All right, that was rep number 3. That was spot on. We're running all these right around 6:30 pace. So that would convert to about a 2:50 marathon pace. And this is one of those shoes that it's not that bouncy when I'm jogging. And then when I really start running, that's where the bounce is coming into play. It does also really reward a mid to 4-foot strike. And it has me focusing on that. That's one of the things I noticed when I ran the marathon in this shoe. I was focusing a little bit more than I would have liked on my foot strike. Something that wasn't happening in the $500 Evo, which you would think is more aggressive, but the rocker on that is just so smooth. So hopefully the Pro 4 has the rocker of the Evo. I think we'll make it a little bit of a smoother ride and a little bit more just friendly for my relaxed strike. But it's not uncomfortable. The foam here is super comfortable. I think I did tie the laces too tight on one of them. But other than that, super comfortable. No issues so far with the Adios. So yeah, maybe 40 more yards of recovery, and once we get to the creek, I'm gonna bang this next set. All right, next one, let's go. Could have swore I saw a bear cub. I don't know, it's just a mangy cat. Look at that thing. It's thick. It's a thick feline. All right, that was another one. And I'm basically running these at the high end of my aerobic range. So I'm not pushing into any of my race paces. It's just the fastest of my everyday pace at 6:40, about steady zone. So it's just fast enough to get some turnover, but not pushing my heart rate up too high, and relaxed enough so that these recoveries, these long recoveries, can really help me feel fresh for the next one. Again, the purpose today, there's no physical fitness goal here. This is really just mental, allowing me to run fast again after a few down days, build back some confidence after a tough long run where I was putting up some 9-minute pace, and just enjoy being outside and mixing it up. Because just running relaxed for a full week, even if it's a down week, is not fun. So mixing in a workout like this can make it just a little bit more exciting. All right, we're gonna recover till we hit that pink tree, and then because I don't want to do any hills today on these paces, I'm gonna take a right loop back around, and probably loop back around this way for the last 2. Or not. I don't think that guy likes me very much. Oh, is it the braids? Okay. Smell like that loud pack out here. And shout out to Apple Creek, putting in work. More like sour Apple Creek, more like Apple Reek. All right, next one, let's go. There's no avoiding the hills, no matter what I do. This is still a hill. All right, that one was accidentally a little faster, so I guess that means the last rep needs to be even faster, because we can't get faster and then slower. It's just the rules of running. I did not invent that, it's just what happened. So 6:16 pace, gonna recover, bang back down to Apple Reek, and then we can call it a day. Last little 800, some nice turnover, some nice sweat. By the way, I am in the northern hemisphere. Somebody commented that I got sick because I was running shirtless in the cold. I'm in the northern hemisphere. It is summer. It's not cold out here, let me tell you. Yeah, one thing I like about these shoes, I feel like I'm in the driver's seat. That's what I felt about the Cloud Boom Strike 2. I still am in control. Even the Saucony Endorphin Pro 4, it's a little bit softer. I don't always feel as connected and like it's as direct of a ride. Same thing with the Cielo X1. But this shoe, Rocket X2, even the Alpha Fly, any of the slightly firmer or lower, or just shoes that have that, you might describe them as, I was gonna say snappy, but that's not right. That's not right. It's these shoes that just feel like they're attached to the bottom of your foot. We're not sinking in too much. And when we slow down, the shoe feels slower, right? The Cielo X1 feels fast at any pace. With this, it feels slow on my slow pace and fast on my fast pace, which is a good thing. "44, 22, we're building up to break it." All right, we're gonna start at 10, 100. I have no idea why I'm singing 44, 22 by Sampha, but let's go. We built it up to break it, 22, 44, 22. All right. Last one there, 5:51. Jog it out. Yeah, I know I was all talking about uppers don't bother me this. I cranked down the left way too tight. All right, that's better. I also think I have a tender left foot. Like the top of my left foot just gets tender. The Magic Speed 4 was bothering me in the same area. I don't know what it is. But yeah, we're at about 7 1/4. So I'm gonna cool down, get some more mileage, get up to 10. and then it's gonna be a wrap. See you when I see you. Sorry. Man, we don't put in so much work on these streets. They had to change the signs, bro. That's what you call beating the road. They had to get the Mint Hill Public Works out here to replace the street signs because we put in so many miles. So many miles. Man, it's getting ridiculous. All right, here we go. Here we go. Preseason is really coming up now. Right after the Olympics. 7:28 pace, 10 miles, 1 hour, 16 minutes. That was a perfect little reacquaintance workout. Just enough time on feet, just enough pace to start feeling good. Get a little bit of speed, a little bit of pop. Test out the legs after a tough week. And man, let me tell you, legs are still feeling, towards the end, I was like, man, my legs are still feeling heavy. But that's what happens. And that's the whole thing with training. You got to find your limits. You got to push it. Because if we keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, for example, if I keep running 20 to 22 miles every weekend at a 7:30 to 8-minute pace, I'll become very proficient at doing that, but I'm not going to get faster. So some weeks and some months, if I tip over to the orange line or red line, I'll push up the fitness a little bit. It'll take a longer to recover, but once my body absorbs those workouts, I'll be fitter. So today, again, was not about getting fitter or faster, just about feeling free, letting it fly, and enjoying a great shoe. Enjoying a great shoe. I have a question, guys. What should Cole Hawker's nickname be? Should it be the Ninja? Because, man, that boy looks like a ninja. With that hair and just how he's kicking. Bang, bang, bang. Or should it be Big Sock Hawk? Because you know that dude has got some big socks. Let me know in the comments. Is he now the ninja? Because he's a silent assassin. He just goes, I'll let you guys do the talking. Is that how he talks? I'll let you boys do the talking. I'm gonna come through with the final 400 and kick and burn both of you boys. Or is he Big Sock Hawk? Yeah, that's my dude. That's my dude. Yaku and the Brisa been real silent since this one dropped, huh? Not like some plain water. Out of the big 48 ouncer. You know Cole Hawker? He's only drinking out of the 48 ounce Nalgene, the big boy Nalgene, right? Alright guys, so we got 10 miles in the Adidas Adios Pro 3, and man, Adidas is a smart business operation. They make one shoe and they just squeeze every last ounce of milk, of juice, of nectar out of that shoe, out of the foam for 36 months maybe. It's crazy. Man, there's more colorways than months, where the shoe has been out for more months than there are colorways, and there's a lot of colorways. Something about months in colorways, there's a whole lot of them with the shoe. It's been out for a long time, but it's still a good shoe. It's still a solid shoe. That's why Adidas hasn't been forced to update it. It doesn't feel outdated yet. Yes, there are some minor things, like a lot of people have issues with the upper. Even today, I had maybe a slight little issue with the lacing, but there's no glaring issues with this shoe. It's just solid. It's just solid. It gets the job done. It's a shoe that I would be comfortable with running a 3-hour marathon, but also putting down some 5 flat pace, putting down some sub 5 pace. And for today, it was absolutely perfect for this workout. Let us throw it up. Get out of here. We have a Honda Odyssey coming, which reminds me, it reminds me of the distractions, because yesterday there were a lot of cars coming through, right? And somebody commented, what was it? We have a new one to off-topic. He said there's a lot of off-topic distractions, so we're gonna add that to the list. Clown behavior, shenanigans, tomfoolery, random speculation, and off-topic distractions. That's what we stand for. That's what we're about. Let's throw up the workout. We also stand for it, and we're also about putting in the work while being clowns. I think that's really the whole point of this channel, right? So we are not feeling 100% still. I'm probably at about 85%. My legs are probably at about, I don't know, felt okay till the end of that run. I think that 24-mile workout I did. And guys, here's the thing. It's hard for me to navigate the right balance of this sometimes, because I want to let you in on everything, but then sometimes when I do, it's difficult because then I get the lash back and people are, oh, I know you pushed too hard. So I really am trying to plant kindness and gather love with my approach to all this, while also letting you in on how I'm actually feeling, because I think it could help you. So I think that 24-miler we did in the Cloud Boom Strike, paired with that midweek workout last week, that pushed my legs over the edge. That was too much. Back to back, it was too much. And it's hard for me to say that because I don't like admitting that I went too hard, but I did. And that's the whole point of this journey. It's dialing things up, dialing things down. So now we need to take a recovery week. I also had about 5 straight weeks of 100 miles. One of them actually was 90, so 5 between 90 and 100. I think we were out of Running Warehouse. I got 89 miles or 90 miles. So I had a lot of volume, and then I started adding some workouts, and it was just time for a down week. That's okay. We need to listen to our body sometimes. Is the thing still up? I don't know if it's still up. We need to listen to our body sometimes and take a down week. I wanted to put my hat backwards, but it's too sunny. Yeah, I need to take a down week every so often. One of the things that has worked for me is doing 3 weeks up, 1 down. 3 weeks up, 1 down. And whether that 1 down is actually, whether that 1 down is actually cutting mileage or just easing off the workouts, doesn't really matter, but I have to get better at letting my body recover, whether it's pulling back the intensity or the volume. So this week I am being forced to do that by not feeling great. So it's a good thing. We got some strawberry lemonade out of the lemons. This colorway, it kind of looks, no, it does not look like strawberry lemonade at all. What does this colorway look like? I don't know. It's kind of a weird colorway with the light green and the red. Regardless, let's throw it up again. We got 6x800, my favorite workout. This was a great shoe for that because it was comfortable enough for the warm-up, for the recovery, and then as I started doing that faster running, it also responded really well. So one of the things with Lightstrike Pro is it takes some time to break in, and it also takes some force to activate. And that's the thing with the Adidas Boston 12, that took about 50 to 60 miles to feel great to me, and then once it started feeling good, it became my favorite marathon speed training shoe of all time. I'm still not sure it's been knocked off of that perch. So that shoe felt awesome for landing up in the forefoot to midfoot, and that was where the biggest portion of Lightstrike Pro is. This is 100% Lightstrike Pro, but it still feels best for landing up here, more so than any other shoe, more race shoe, even more than the Vaporfly, I think, even though that, hey, on my way to. But when landing up here, this foam really activates. I do think this is softened up a little bit now that we're at 40 or 50 miles. It's still not gonna be the softest foam out there, but what it is gonna do is provide a lot of impact absorption, a lot of protection, and it is way, way better for bigger runners and for really mashing than the Vaporfly. Even the Vaporfly 3 for me, that was too soft. I ran a half marathon in it. That still has my current half marathon PR, but it just felt like too much soft cushion. Like I couldn't really grip and rip, and it didn't have that bite that I love in a fast race day shoe. This has that bite. It never feels like I'm maxing it out. And for these splits today, I was running pretty consistently at about a 6:30 pace for the 800s until the last two. I think I went about 6:15 and then 5:50, and it felt good through all those faster paces. And the faster I was going, though, it did feel a little bit better getting up there to that top end speed, maybe close to half marathon and 10K speed. So a great shoe for this type of a workout where you're gonna have multiple race paces or multiple paces in a workout. A great race day shoe for training because it's gonna be very durable. Lightstrike Pro is one of the most durable race foams out there, if not the most durable shoe. I've seen some pretty crazy reports of this getting up to high mileage. This and actually probably the Asics FF Turbo are the most durable foams, but this is gonna have a little bit better durability because the rubber. You can see though, because of my heel mashing, we've worn through the back pretty good. And you can see on the left side, yeah, on the left side we wear through it more because I have an imbalance, because I'm a hobby jogger. Look at that. I'm not a professional, so I've decided to just roll with it because I can still put up 100 miles a week, and that's okay, right? That's okay. We have an imbalance. But great shoe for running fast. Downsides of this shoe, if you like soft, this is not gonna feel great. And this is kind of a hard shoe to photograph. Is that better? But yeah, this doesn't feel soft. It's also not the most exciting. And if you are dropping $250 on a race shoe, you might want something with just a little bit more excitement, especially if you are lighter on your feet. If you are lighter on your feet and you're not throwing down sub 630 pace, this is probably not gonna activate for you in the way that you want it to. It's very stiff and the foam is a little bit on the firmer, denser side. So something like the Diadora Gara, Saucony Endorphin Pro 4, Nike Vaporfly, even Hoka Rocket X2. I've heard good things about the Puma DV8 Elite 3. Any of those shoes, not this guy, not the Endorphin Elite, any of those other shoes are gonna be better if you're lighter on your feet and don't put down as much force into the shoe. Now stability, it's okay. The foam itself is very stable, and if you look at how wide it is, if you're lining up in the front, but it's not engineered to be a heel striker shoe. As you can see here, I'm really chewing through the back with my heel clunking at slower paces, and the heel does feel a little bit narrow, even compared to other race shoes out there. So if you're an aggressive heel striker, this might not be the pick for you. For forefoot and midfoot strikers, this will have great stability. I think they're gonna fix that in the Adios Pro 4, because even in the Evo, as I said when we were out there running, that felt better for heel striking than this. The rocker felt smoother. That's the other thing with the shoe. It doesn't have the smoothest rocker. It can feel, the transition can feel a little bit clunky when you're not landing on the front. So, and look at this. From the inside, you can see it does have a big rocker, but from the outside, not so much. So it does have that kind of disjointed feeling at times. I would not say this is the smoothest ride, but when you're landing fast and really kicking off the front of the platform, that's when it's good. So if you're not gonna be kicking off the front of the platform, if you're gonna be hanging back a little bit more on your heels, might not be the best pick. So yeah, in terms of other shoes with better stability, Salomon S-Lab Spectre, Saucony Endorphin Elite, even the Hoka Cielo X1 just has a broader base than this. The Cielo X1 sometimes feels like you have to fight against the midfoot, but stability is a little bit better and you get more bounce at a slower pace than this. The other thing is just the upper. Some people have issues with this upper, as I've mentioned a bunch of times. I have to say it again. I have had zero issues with the upper, and I really think getting the right socks can fix these upper issues. I very rarely have any upper issues. The only upper that I've had an issue with recently is the Cloud Boom Strike, and that was because it was bunching up and it was just very distracting. It was an off-topic distraction when I was running because of the space between my foot and the shoe. You can see here, this is completely flush. So when I'm out there, it's not moving around. The Cloud Boom Strike was flapping up and down like this on the top, which just, it took me out of my flow because I had to look down. Those laces were also untying. I had to look down to see if the laces were flopping around. It was a mess. But this is not a distracting upper. It's completely dialed in for me. I would highly recommend getting a good pair of running socks if you don't already, especially with the padding around the back. I know a lot of people were also complaining about the SC Pacer V2 upper, that it was digging into their Achilles. I didn't have that issue, and I did a 22-mile long run in it, and I don't think I had the issue because I used the right socks. I used the Features padded socks. Today I was actually using OS First, but any sock that has the little padding around the back. Also, someone asked me in the Supernova Prima video how my ankles weren't getting cut up with using no-show socks. They're not no-show socks, the type of socks I use. They're ankle socks with padding right around the back. They're completely perfect for protecting your feet in these shoes. So I highly recommend. I'll put my links to all those below. So Adios Pro 3, still a great shoe for 4-hour marathoners, still a great shoe for bigger runners who want something to go fast. I think for most people out there, this is gonna be best half marathon and below. I would go Cielo X1, Diadora Gara. I think there's just some shoes that are a little bit more comfortable for the full marathon if you're not gonna be putting down a lot of power into the shoe. But if you're bigger than I am, or my size, running faster, heavier on your feet, this is going to be a great choice. For you light boys and gals out there, it's not going to be a great choice. Unless you're an elite. And then, yeah, of course, the grip is going to be great. It wasn't running, but I said running. It wasn't raining out here, but the grip was great. So I think that's all I have for you today, guys. Last thing I want to say, thank you to everyone who ordered your Hobby Jogger hats. I'll be shipping them out today. It was really cool to see. Man, we got probably 30, 35 different states. It's wild. So yeah, it was cool to see how many people out there are just connecting with what we're doing. I appreciate you. I love you. And I'll be back tomorrow with another video. A little quick recovery here. One more thing. We got the homemade waffles. Nothing special, nothing fancy. Just a waffle. And then we're going to pound something for lunch. But nice little quick carbs to refuel after the workout. And then we'll do a big lunch. Supple certified dinner. All right, one more thing, guys. We got the ramen for dinner. My finished bowl. Well, can you say what the ingredients are?
It's roasted corn, mushrooms, peanut tofu, seaweed, roasted seaweed, broccoli, and then, of course, the noodles and... Don't show the kids.
All right, bang. Finished product here. Ramen with the fire roasted corn, mushrooms, tofu, broccoli with the broth down there. Bang.